Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AnzenGuard podcast. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And we are diving headfirst today into the world of VPNs.
VPNs.
A topic that is generating a lot of buzz lately.
It's for good reason.
You've probably seen those three little letters everywhere, promising online privacy, security, and access to content you might not otherwise get.
Right.
But is it all hype? Or are VPNs truly worth the investment?
That's the question, isn't it?
That is exactly what we're going to uncover in this deep dive. So,
Yes.
Laura, before we get into the nitty-gritty,
Okay.
let's start with the basics. What exactly is a VPN, and how does it work its magic?
Okay, so think of a VPN, a virtual private network, as a secret tunnel for your internet traffic.
Ooh, a secret tunnel.
Yeah, so imagine you're sending a postcard.
Okay.
Instead of sending it directly, you put it in a special envelope that first goes to a different location before reaching its final destination.
Gotcha.
In this case, the envelope is encryption scrambling your data so no one can peek inside. And the rerouting happens through a server operated by the VPN provider.
Okay.
This process masks your real IP address, your digital fingerprint, making it appear as if you're browsing from the location of that server.
So it's like having a digital disguise, shielding your online activity.
Mm-hmm.
This brings us to the main attraction, privacy.
Okay.
VPNs are often touted as a shield against prying eyes.
Hmm.
What exactly are we being shielded from, and how does it actually work?
Well, without a VPN, your internet service provider has a clear view of every website you visit, every file you download, even how long you spend on certain apps.
Really?
It's like someone looking over your shoulder
As
you browse the web. Not exactly ideal.
Not at all.
VPN encryption prevents this by making that data unreadable to your ISP.
Okay.
Same goes for websites and apps. They often track your browsing habits, target you with personalized ads, and potentially even sell your data to third parties.
Wow.
A VPN adds a layer of anonymity, making it much harder to link your online actions back to you personally.
So it's like having a private browsing session on steroids.
You could say that.
But, the sources we had today point out that VPNs go beyond just basic privacy protection. For instance, it's amazing how they can actually impact online gaming.
Oh, absolutely. For gamers, especially, those playing online lag can be a real buzzkill.
Yeah.
A VPN can sometimes reduce that frustrating delay by tackling bandwidth throttling, which is when your ISP intentionally slows down your internet speed.
Wait, hold on. I didn't realize VPNs could help with that.
They can.
Tell me more about how it works.
Well, it's all about masking your activity from your ISP. They can't throttle what they can't see.
Makes sense.
Plus, some games are region-locked, meaning you can only access them from specific countries.
Oh, right, yeah.
A VPN can bypass those restrictions, opening up a world of gaming options.
Wow.
And of course, it also protects you from DDoS attacks and nasty tactics, sometimes used by other players.
So it really is a game changer.
Yeah.
And speaking of changing locations,
Okay.
this is where it gets really interesting for me. The sources mention that VPNs can unlock access to content that might be restricted in your region.
That's right. Imagine you're craving a specific show that's only available on a streaming service in another country. A VPN can make you appear as if you're browsing from that country, granting you access.
So it's like teleporting your device
You got it.
to a different location.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too carried away with all the amazing things VPNs can do,
Okay.
we need to acknowledge that no tech is perfect.
Right.
There are potential downsides. Right?
Absolutely.
Mm.
One common concern is speed. While a VPN can sometimes improve lag caused by your ISP, the encryption and routing process itself can add a bit of overhead.
Okay.
It's like taking a detour on your way to a destination. It might be a safer route, but it could take a little longer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The further your data has to travel, the longer it takes.
Exactly.
So it's a bit of a trade-off between privacy and speed.
It is a little bit.
And what about the cost factor?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are hesitant to pay for yet another online service.
That's a valid point. Quality VPNs typically come with a subscription fee. However, the value you get, enhanced privacy, security, access to restricted content, often outweighs the cost. And the sources we have actually suggest that VPNs can sometimes save you money.
Really? How is that possible?
Think about booking flights or hotels online.
Okay.
Prices often vary based on your location. By connecting to a VPN server in a different country, you might find better deals.
Wow, I never thought of that. That's a brilliant tip.
It can be really helpful.
But if we're hiding our activity from our ISP, Doesn't that mean our VPN provider can see everything we're doing?
That's a critical point. It's like choosing a confidant you want to ensure they're trustworthy.
Yeah.
Reputable VPNs have strict no-logs policies, meaning they don't store any records of your online activity.
Okay, so it's essential to choose a provider you can trust.
Absolutely.
Are there any other potential drawbacks we should be aware of?
Yes, a few more things to keep in mind. Some websites, especially streaming platforms and online gaming services, actively try to block VPN usage. They have ways of detecting and preventing VPN connections, which can be frustrating if your primary goal is accessing specific content.
Okay, so we've seen how VPNs offer a range of benefits, but there are also potential drawbacks to consider. It seems like the decision to use a VPN really hinges on understanding those nuances and aligning them with your individual needs.
Exactly. And that's what we'll delve into in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll help you weigh the pros and cons, figure out if a VPN aligns with your online habits, and ultimately empower you to make an informed decision.
Awesome. Well, we'll see everybody in part 2.
Sounds good. Welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into VPNs. In the first part, we unpacked the basics of VPNs, exploring how they work, their potential benefits, and some of the drawbacks you should be aware of.
Right.
Now let's shift gears and delve into the decision-making process. How do you determine if a VPN is the right fit for your specific needs?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's clear that VPNs offer a range of advantages, but they're not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Precisely. The decision hinges on understanding your own online behavior and priorities. It's like choosing the right tool for the job. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw, would you?
Definitely not.
Right.
So what are some key questions our listeners should ask themselves when evaluating whether a VPN is a worthwhile investment for them?
The first question is, how much do you value your online privacy? If you're comfortable with your ISP and websites tracking your online activity, then a VPN might not be a top priority.
Right?
But if the thought of someone peering into your digital life makes you uneasy, then a VPN can offer peace of mind.
It's like drawing the curtains in your home.
Exactly.
You have the right to privacy both in the physical world and online.
Exactly. Now let's talk about accessing geo-blocked content. Many people turn to VPNs to unlock streaming services or websites that are unavailable in their region.
Right. And it can be super frustrating when you're, traveling or something and you can't access your usual streaming services.
I know, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
While a VPN can often bypass these restrictions, it's important to have realistic explications.
Right. It's not a magic wand that grants you access to everything everywhere.
It is not. Streaming services and other platforms are constantly evolving their detection methods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bit of a cat and mouse game.
Ah.
So while a VPN can expand your entertainment options, it's not a foolproof guarantee.
Speaking of things that aren't foolproof, what about the speed issue? We talked about how VPNs can sometimes impact internet speeds. Is that a deal breaker for most people?
Not necessarily. It depends on how you use the internet. If you're mainly browsing websites, checking email, scrolling through social media, you might not even notice a difference.
Okay.
But if you're a gamer, frequently download large files, or rely on smooth video streaming, then speed becomes a more crucial factor.
So for those who need speed, are there ways to mitigate potential slowdowns?
Absolutely. Choosing a premium VPN service that prioritizes speed and performance can make a big difference.
Okay.
Look for features like a wide server network, optimized protocols, and split tunneling.
Okay. I've heard the term split tunneling thrown around. Can you explain what that is and how it impacts speed?
Imagine you have 2 lanes on a highway.
Okay.
Split tunneling allows you to route some of your traffic through the secure VPN tunnel, while other traffic takes the regular, faster route.
Okay.
So, for example, you can choose to route only your banking traffic through the VPN for maximum security, while your streaming services use your regular connection for better speed.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like having the best of both worlds, security where you need it and speed where you want it.
Exactly. Now let's talk about cost. VPNs can range from free to quite pricey. Is there a correlation between price and quality?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I know it's always tempting to go for the free option.
It is tempting to go for the cheapest option, but remember, you often get what you pay for.
Right.
Free VPNs often have limitations in terms of data usage speed and server locations.
Okay.
They might also bombard you with ads or even compromise your privacy by selling your data.
That's a scary thought.
It is. So it's worth investing in a paid VPN, but how do you determine if the price is justified?
Right.
Look for a balance between features, performance, and price. Many reputable VPN providers offer different subscription tiers, allowing you to choose the plan that best suits your needs and budget.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to take advantage of free trials or money-back guarantees to test the service before committing.
It's like taking a car for a test drive before buying it.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it handles well and meets your expectations.
Exactly. Now, another crucial factor to consider is the provider's logging policy. This outlines how they handle your data.
We touched on this briefly in the first part. You mentioned no-logs policies. Can you elaborate on what those are and why they're important?
A strict no-logs policy means that the VPN provider doesn't store any records of your online activity.
Right.
This is crucial for ensuring your privacy. It's like having a secret conversation. You wouldn't want someone secretly recording it, would you?
Definitely not. So a no-logs policy essentially means that even the VPN provider can't see what you're doing online.
That's right. It's like having a digital shredder for your browsing history. Now let's shift our focus to something that's often overlooked: customer support. Our reliable VPN providers should offer responsive and helpful customer support in case you encounter any issues or have questions.
That's a great point. It's like having a safety net.
Exactly.
You want to know that someone has your back if something goes wrong.
Right. Look for providers that offer multiple support channels like email, live chat, and phone support.
Okay.
Reading user reviews can also give you insights into the quality of customer service.
So we've talked about privacy, speed, cost, logging policies, and customer support. Anything else our listeners should keep in mind when deciding if a VPN is right for them?
Here's an important one. Consider your location and where you'll be using a VPN. Some countries have strict internet censorship, and using a VPN might be necessary to access certain websites or services.
That makes sense. A VPN can act as a digital passport, granting you access to information that might be restricted in certain regions.
Also, if you frequently use public Wi-Fi, a VPN is highly recommended. Public Wi-Fi networks are notoriously insecure,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and your data can be easily intercepted.
It's like sending a postcard without an envelope. Anyone can read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A VPN encrypts your traffic, adding that layer of protection even on public Wi-Fi.
So it seems like the decision to use a VPN really comes down to a personal cost-benefit analysis. You weigh your need for privacy, your desire to access restricted content, your tolerance for potential speed fluctuations, your budget, and your overall security concerns.
Precisely. And remember, this isn't a one-time decision. Your needs and priorities might change over time.
It's all about adapting to the ever-changing digital landscape.
Exactly.
Speaking of adaptation, let's talk about the future of VPNs. What trends are you seeing emerge in this space?
One notable trend is the integration of additional security features. VPNs are evolving beyond basic encryption and IP masking.
Oh, wow.
Many now offer built-in malware protection, ad blocking, and even anti-tracking tools.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's like having a comprehensive online security suite all in one package.
We're also seeing a move towards greater user-friendliness. Early VPNs were often clunky and complicated to set up and use.
Right.
Now, many providers offer intuitive apps that work seamlessly across various devices, from laptops and smartphones to even smart TVs.
That's great news for those who might be intimidated by the technical aspects of VPNs. It's becoming increasingly accessible for everyone.
Absolutely. And with that increased accessibility comes greater awareness and adoption. VPNs are no longer seen as just a tool for techies or privacy enthusiasts. They're becoming an essential part of online life for anyone who wants to protect their data and control their digital footprint.
It's like wearing a seatbelt in a car.
Mhm.
It's a simple precaution that can significantly reduce your risk in a potentially dangerous environment.
I like that analogy. It highlights the importance of being proactive about online security. We don't wait until we're in an accident to buckle up, and we shouldn't wait until our data is compromised to start thinking about protecting our privacy.
Well said. So for those who are still on the fence about VPNs, what's the best way for them to dip their toes in the water and see if it's a good fit?
Many reputable VPN providers offer free trials or money-back guarantees. This allows you to test out the service without any financial commitment.
Okay.
You can try connecting to different servers, see how it affects your internet speed, and explore the various features offered.
That's a great starting point. It allows people to experience the benefits firsthand and make an informed decision based on their own usage patterns. But remember, not all VPNs are created equal. It's crucial to do your research, read reviews, and choose a provider that aligns with your privacy values and security needs.
And that's precisely what we'll cover in part 3 of our deep dive. We'll provide some practical tips on evaluating VPN providers, comparing features, and ultimately selecting the one that's right for you.
Okay, great. Well, we will see everybody in part 3. All right, so we're back for the final part of our VPN deep dive. In the previous parts, we explored what VPNs are, how they work, their potential benefits and drawbacks, and even how to determine if a VPN is the right fit for you. Now, let's say you've decided to take the plunge
Okay.
and get yourself a VPN. Great choice.
Yeah.
But with so many providers out there all claiming to be the best,
Right.
how do you choose the right one for your needs?
It's true, the VPN market has become incredibly crowded, like a bustling marketplace with vendors all vying for your attention.
Yeah, it can definitely feel overwhelming.
Yeah, it can. But don't worry, we're here to help you navigate this landscape and make a confident, informed decision.
That's reassuring. So where do we even begin? What are the key factors to consider when comparing all these different VPN providers?
Okay, so the foundation of any reputable VPN service lies in its security and privacy features. These are non-negotiables.
Okay.
Look for providers that offer strong encryption protocols like OpenVPN or IKEv2.
Okay, those sound important, but to be honest, they're a bit over my head. Can you break it down for those of us who aren't tech wizards?
Of course, think of encryption protocols as different types of locks for your data.
Okay.
OpenVPN is like a heavy-duty padlock known for its open-source transparency and robust security.
Got it.
It's a popular choice and widely considered very secure.
So it's like Fort Knox for my data.
Exactly. Now, IKEv2 is more like a high-tech combination lock.
Right.
It prioritizes speed and is particularly well-suited for mobile devices, so it's great if you're often on the go.
So there are different options depending on my needs and priorities.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, you also mentioned something about logging policies earlier.
Yes.
Can you remind us what those are and why they're so crucial?
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about choosing a trustworthy confidant?
Uh-huh.
Well, a VPN provider's logging policy outlines how they handle your data. A strict no-logs policy means they don't keep any records of your browsing activity,
Right.
ensuring your privacy is protected even from them.
It's like having a conversation that disappears into thin air once it's over. No trace, no record.
Exactly. Now let's talk about performance. We've discussed how VPNs can sometimes impact internet speed, and for some people, that's a major concern.
Right, especially for those who rely on smooth streaming or online gaming.
Yeah.
Are there any telltale signs that can help us determine if a provider is likely to slow us down?
One key factor is the size and location of their server network. Think of it like a network of roads. The more roads there are, and the closer they are to your destination, the faster and smoother your journey will be.
Okay.
A VPN provider with a large network of servers spread across multiple geographical locations will generally offer better speeds and more reliable connections.
So more servers, more locations, more speed.
Yep,
Got it. What about data limits? Are those something to be concerned about?
absolutely. Some VPN providers impose limits on how much data you can use per month.
Yeah.
If you hit that limit, your speed might be throttled, or you might even be cut off completely. Look for providers that offer unlimited bandwidth and data so you can browse, stream, and download without constantly worrying about hitting a ceiling.
That's good to know. No one likes running into unexpected data caps. Now, besides security, privacy, and performance, what other factors should we consider when choosing a VPN provider?
Features play a significant role. Different VPN providers offer different bells and whistles to enhance your experience.
It's like choosing a car. You might want leather seats, a sunroof, or a powerful engine, depending on your needs and preferences.
Exactly. Some popular VPN features include split tunneling, which allows you to route only specific traffic through the VPN while other traffic uses your regular connection.
Right.
This can be helpful for optimizing speed or accessing devices on your local network while still using the VPN for other activities.
We talked about that earlier. It's like having two separate lanes on a highway, each serving a different purpose.
Precisely. Another valuable feature is a kill switch. It automatically disconnects your internet if the VPN connection drops,
Oh, yeah.
preventing your data from being exposed. It's like a safety net that ensures your privacy is protected, even if there's a momentary lapse in the VPN connection.
That's a great feature for peace of mind. Any other features we should be on the lookout for?
Some providers offer dedicated IP addresses, which can be helpful for accessing certain online services or websites that might block shared IP addresses. A dedicated IP is like having your own private parking space online as opposed to sharing a public lot.
Okay, so we've got security, privacy, performance features, and of course we can't forget about cost. VPNs can range from free to quite pricey. Is there a correlation between price and quality?
While it's tempting to go for the cheapest option, remember that you often get what you pay for. Free VPNs often have limitations in terms of data usage, speed, server locations, and might even compromise your privacy by selling your data. It's like choosing a discount airline. You might save money up front, but you could end up with hidden fees, cramped seats, and delays.
So it's worth investing in a paid VPN, but how do we know if the price is justified?
Look for a balance between features, performance, and price. Many reputable providers offer different subscription tiers, allowing you to choose the plan that best fits your needs and budget.
Okay.
And don't hesitate to take advantage of free trials or money-back guarantees. It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Yeah.
You want to ensure it meets your expectations and handles well before committing.
That's excellent advice. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical aspects of VPNs to the practical considerations of choosing a provider. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we wrap up?
Choosing a VPN is a personal decision. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Take the time to assess your own needs. Do your research, read reviews, and select a provider that aligns with your privacy values and online habits. A VPN can be a powerful tool for enhancing your online security, privacy, and freedom. Use it wisely and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing your data is protected.
That's a great way to put it. A huge thank you to Laura Wilson for guiding us through the intricate world of VPNs today. Your insights have been incredibly valuable.
It was my pleasure.
And to all of our listeners, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into VPNs. We hope this has helped demystify the world of VPNs and empower you to make informed decisions about your online security and privacy. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And this has been the AnzenGuard podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Stay safe online.